Let's make a start, shall we? What should we call the main guy? See some suggestions in the chat. Normally I just call him 88. Leroy, I like Leroy. Keep with the taco trend. Yeah. Just call him Taco. Fred, Suiko Man. Nacho. Yeah, Aladdin took Dole. I quite like that. Guacamole. Well, guacamole. I think guacamole's 9 letters, isn't it? I got an 8 character limit. Thank you, True Rage Rune. Yeah, I quite like this, which is a little nod to a glitch that happens in Suikoden 2 if you load. Mass Templeton would be great if I had the characters for it. And it was Mies Templeton that was the thing, that was the reminders. But yeah, Tukdol is a little a nod to a glitch that happens in Suikoden 2. If you import your data in and you go and recruit or go and meet the character from Suikoden 1, it just calls him McDowell, but with the M from McDowell replaced with whatever the first letter of what you called him in the first game was. I think that's how it worked anyway. Alright. So, we're going to get started. Yeah, we're just going to crack straight on. Oh, copies only the uppercase characters, right? Because interns or something. Places let you capitalize. Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay. I slightly had that wrong then. So, here we are at the beginning of the game, talking to our dad. And if you call him Tyr, it'll be Tyrol. Yeah, because it takes the place of letters. Right, yeah. Super weird. So now we promised the Emperor that while Daddy's away, we're going to take good care of our house and our little section of the Empire, and we're not going to cause any trouble or incite any rebellions or anything like that. So he's got our word on that one. Now, this the setup for this next set of manips is if I'm gonna reset anywhere, it's gonna be here. Absolutely no rebellions while I'm gone. Exactly. So I've got to walk down the center of the carpet like that, and stand in a very specific tile here. That one there. Oh my god. I messed that up. I've never done that before. Wow, we've got a that's never happened before. Literally in the first, like, 2 minutes of the run. I've never accidentally spoken to Craze twice. So I'm not really sure if the setup that it looks like this frame is going to be right. Wow, that's crazy! There's Doc Cobrin on form already. Marathon Luck claims another. I know! Just a bit overzealous with my mashing. Yeah, I really need to reset. Yeah, I'll reset as much as possible just because more me. But if this is the frame that I think it is, it's the hardest setup for getting a Holy Rune that I have. So I'm likely to mess it up anyway. And I'm going to save. I'm going to be saving the game before I try it. And a word on how I'm going to be saving the game. I'm going to be using save states, which, as we all know, are not really allowed in speedrunning. But long story short, using the game's, when we're doing actual world record attempts, we wouldn't be saving at all. So it wouldn't matter. But using the game's in-game save function messes with the way certain things work. It means that tie-home manip isn't possible, and it means that certain RNG resets will behave differently. Meaning I would have to reroute large sections just in case I end up loading from a save, which is simply unacceptable amount of work. And would mean that there's a chance you wouldn't end up seeing the true speedrun. You'd see some weird version that I had to make especially for this. So, in order to showcase as accurately as I can the way the run actually looks, using the in-game save function would mess with it. So I'm using save states. Sorry, just the way it is. Right. Okay. I don't think that was it. Nope, it wasn't. I'm going to try and load that save state, but there's a chance it gives us a horrible audio glitch, and if it does, we'll just have to reset the game, because I don't think it will go away. There it is. No, Wily Bird, we can't. And at this point, the run is so optimized that you wouldn't waste the seconds doing that anyway. Just gonna... Probably not gonna carry on with this. Menu! Oh my god. Okay, right, you know what? Well, there's the first reset. Look at this description of the game. You can't see the edge of it, but enter an ancient world of bravery, mysticism, and romance. Is that the worst description of a video game ever? I mean, I really think it might be. I feel like the person who wrote that had never actually played the game. They were just like, yeah, that could apply to any, kind of medieval fantasy JRPG. I know, romance, right? What? Like... But whoever wrote that was just like, I know what this kind of game is. We'll write something generic, like it could apply to anything. Yeah, I've seen the cover art. Yeah, well, the European cover art was actually pretty sick. I think the US cover art with the black one with the weird mustachioed Barbarossa and the that was very strange. Yeah, the romance, I don't know. Odessa and Flick, yeah. Hicks and Tengar. Oh, no. I nearly pressed my timer button again just because pressing start timer at that point is really built into my brain. Chio and Sonia. Flick and Kimberly, yeah. Yeah, Barbarossa, Heart, Windy. Wait, did I call him 88? What did I name him? Oh, damn. Sorry. I just did that on autopilot. Well, I don't have time to reset again. Although I might have to. Okay, that was the wrong tile. again. I think this is the right frame. Wasn't really looking at the first two NPCs. But I think it has to be this one. Yeah, Shortkeen, in the UK version, like the PAL version that I had, the name carried over just fine as well. And in Suikoden 2, I got all of the music in the war fights and everything. Fixed a few of the glitches when they did the PAL one. And yes, this level of optimization does often make me want to split my skull on the desk. Alright, gonna save here again. Just make it take like 5 hours. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're up after me, right? With Tier Christ? Yeah. Crap. Where are we? Oh no. Ooh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, left +4 with 2 menu buffers. I will get a move on after this. But usually I do have to reset here a few times. Okay, left +4, 2 menu buffers. Come on, give me another one! Was that 3? Did it do 3? I think it did 3. Yep. And we're going to have the sound. This is the problem with using these save states on this emulator. It does this horrible sound glitch. Yeah. Yeah, we can't play the game like this. Damn it. Alright, we're having real trouble getting out the starting blocks here. It's alright, got a 20-minute window worked in. Oh, does this just mean I just have to do this without saving? Alright, I'm going to remember to call him Tukadol again this time. Yeah, using an actual save. Well, I guess I could just do the soft reset instead of a hard reset. So it wouldn't, but then it would still kill Tomm88. Although, let's be real, I'm not going to get Tomm88 anyway. Yeah, I guess I could. So I could do an actual save and then just do. Oh no, but a soft reset wouldn't work because I would be out in the town and. No, it'd have to be a hard reset, and then I'd have to do a setup where I go in and out of the house door a bunch of times. Which I don't think I even have written down anymore. I knew this would happen. But it's fine. As long as it doesn't take me an hour to get a holy rune. Like, if I could get a holy rune just this time, please. So, what I'm trying to do here... Yeah, there's a very specific setup, or set of setups. So, hang on, let me just concentrate so I don't mess this up. Okay. Yeah, this is, Right, now I skip the text here. Watch the bird. What? No, how? See? This is what happens when you think, I know it's a marathon and I should probably make some safer setups for this, but it's fine. Like, I get it pretty regularly. I get it fairly consistently. I don't have to reset like that much in runs. When you let yourself think that and you think, oh, it's just at the start of the game, I can reset as many times as I need and like it'll be fine. You find yourself 15 minutes into your allotted time without having actually started the game yet. So that's where I'm at right now. Feels good, man. Okay. Yeah, no, not try. So we get the same RNG seed every time, but it's a very precise set of steps that that we need to take, and we need to make some inputs, and we can't control the exact frame we make those inputs, and the RNG that we land on changes from frame to frame. So we have a bunch of different setups for all the bunch of different frames we can land on. That setup that I just got there, is outside of my range of frames that I have setups for. And that has never happened before. Two things so far, trying to do this, have happened to me now in this 15 minutes of trying this, that have never happened before. One is I accidentally mashed too much and spoke to Craze twice. And the other is that I didn't skip the text in moving into Gregminster quickly enough. And got a frame outside of my range of frames that I have a setup for. So... come on, please, please. Alright, there's that. Okay. Right. I know which frame I'm on. I know which setup I'm doing. Gonna make a save state again, although I'm actually not sure I'm gonna be able to load from it because it's gonna cause the horrible sound glitch to happen. Game audio loud enough? Let me know if that's too loud now. I don't think it is. Okay, cool. Well, I may have just made it imperfect. So in this setup, I have to do a menu buffer. So we mash square, the menu button, during the walk to open and close the menu as quickly as possible, and that just, like, adjusts the frame that we're on. But you can, each step is 4 frames, and you can only open the menu on the first frame of each step. So you're like mashing it, going, please, please catch the right frame, and there's 1 in 4 chance every time. And sometimes you walk all the way out, and the game just hasn't let you open the menu. So that's fun. Oh, I forgot to do the save. So yeah, although I am using save states, I am only going to save the game at points where the game would let me save it. I'm not just going to make save states at any arbitrary point. It has to be at a time where I would be able to save the game. Alright, come on. House, left +1, 1 menu buffer. What? Why did the birds fly away? I don't understand what's happening. No audio glitch, that's good. Menu button, there we go. Did twice. Did 2. Please no audio glitch again. I don't think we can play with this. Can't just have this. I don't think this is going to stop. Oh, it didn't work anyway. Alright. Now we have a real issue because I have eaten into my entire 20-minute window. So I'm definitely 100% going quite far over estimate here. Sorry, Siglance. Alright. Come on. I do this like every day. I do this so often. And it really doesn't take that long. Yeah, okay, cool. That's the general consensus is that Sig will be fine with Tierkreis. Good. I'm glad we feel that way. Oh, I was really hoping, you know, I got asked yesterday during my stream when I was practicing, like, how am I feeling? And I said, if I can just get a Holy Rune quickly, like, if I can just get past Holy Rune, I'll be fine, and I'll relax into it, and, like, it'll be great. As long as I don't keep having to reset at Holy Rune, because that's going to eat into a lot of my estimate. So, and now, of course, that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah, kind of jinxed myself on that one, didn't I? Yeah, so we cut into, it's finished. We had any percent run by RJ and a 108% run by Neo. Okay, come on, please. Oy, and of course this is a really hard one. How many times have I failed Holy Rune now? I don't know. 5? It's probably my 5th time resetting here. 7, yeah. Trying to be a bit generous on myself there. Yeah, 5th star. I did a couple of loading save states. Oh my god, this one's so hard. Man, why do I do this to myself? Coyote we need to worry about. Where's he? Where's my mouse? And we got a while. I don't think it shouldn't be possible for the save states to mess with it. Okay. I can't believe this. I'm really sorry, everyone. This was like just the one thing that I really didn't want to happen. Thanks, guys. The setups here are very precise, and I keep messing it up. I can't do it. This is a real problem. Although, of course, I can do it because I do it every single stream and several times every stream. And there's the audio glitch. Okay. Probably looking at least 3.5 hours now. Come on. Do this. You do this every day. You do this all the time. This game's completely viable without manips. Is it? I mean, technically that counts as a manip if you're going to use that. Thanks, Lady Law. I appreciate that. Okay. Now this one's quite hard. I mean, it's not so hard as to be unfeasible. None of them are. I do them all the time. This is just, you know, this is just what happens when you try and do a run in front of more people than you're usually doing it in front of. You'll die on purpose multiple times. Okay, cool. Just to push us even more behind schedule. That'd be great. Just make me not look so bad. Awesome. Thank you, man. Okay, house, middle, and then another 3 steps at the bottom of the gate. That's the tricky part. Come on. Nope, I've messed it up already. That would have been perfect, but I bonked into the tree for a frame. Yep. Come on. Come on. Please. If the sound glitch is there, I'm just going to have to put some... I think I might just have to put some Suikoden OST music on in the background and just live with this glitch. Yep, I think that's what we're doing. Alright. We're going to put this on for a bit, and then we'll check in later and see if the sound glitch has fixed itself. There it is. Alright, well, we're only half an hour behind schedule, so... Alright, now we can relax and play the game. It's disconcerting that the music is not matching what's going on. Really hoping that sound glitch. Wow, Hellcat. Striker. Hellcat Striker. Good to see you. 10 gift subs to the RPG Limit Breaker community. Big sub bomb. Thanks for that, dude. Oops. Oh, it's really messing with me that the music's wrong. Okay. Alright, there's one of 2 RNG resets we can get there. This is the faster one. Oh, and I got the movement right, look at that. Of course, now there's an actual, like, if I get the movement wrong, it doesn't matter as much, and the movement there is much harder. I get that perfectly right. We'll check in, because, like, sometimes something happens in the game that does fix that sound glitch, so we'll check in periodically and see if it's still going on. And if it's fixed itself, then we'll switch back to the actual game audio. This is actually, like, about what the music should be doing right now. Then it changes to touch. Is what? Yeah, is that right? Yeah, I think this is right. Nice, right, so I'm gonna play speedrunner and DJ. That's just asking for disaster. No audio cues for any trick. Have we still? Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, still there. I have a feeling it's just going to be there for the rest of the game. Wow. Epic. Going to get to hear much more of the game's soundtrack. Alright. Calm down. Gonna get to hear much more of the game's soundtrack than I normally would. Wait. Almost. Almost got the timing right. No, we're not. I just clicked on the name of this track for this bit. The problem with the sound is that it's doing this. Wait. Oh, yeah. This is what the game audio sounds like at the moment. Got that, just that note going in the background. Can't, Yeah, sounds good. Should we keep it? Yeah, save state glitched audio. Oops. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna get really annoying, especially as, like, because at the moment it's a note from this song that's playing, I think. And it's like, it's in key with the music that's like around this area. It's all on the same theme. Start moving into other areas, the music's just in a completely different key, it's gonna sound terrible. Yeah. See, it already sounds pretty bad. No, we already had that. Penpe, what's that? Oh, that's a dungeon theme. Distant Mountain. Oh, that's, well, this will be right for Seifu. We're going to have that in a minute. Wait, Marco's Cup game. Alright, now, talking to Marco is quite a big deal because... Ooh. Tell you what I am going to do before we do anything, though. Just pop in here real quick. Little safety save. Now, talking to Marco and just opening this game screen resets the game's RNG to a consistent, reliable value. And his cup game is determined by RNG, so it's the same every time. Same order every time. It also means that we can quite easily track what encounters we're going to get after this. I was a little early on that. So 6 mosquitoes, a few steps before the mountain, like here, yeah. Bribe these, which I forgot the other day. Grab the escape talisman there. Oh yeah, I messed up this movement the other day. It's really easy, but I messed it up still. There we go. As long as we trigger the Queen Ant within 60 steps of that last fight, Bribe Glitch, we can manipulate things from here. And you saw how close that last fight was to this point. So doing it within 60 steps is pretty easy. We should have the mountain theme here. Is there any chance all the weird hell sound effects? Yes, we're back! Nice, we can have actual game audio now. Yay, indeed. That is a relief for me. It was actually quite disconcerting just having the wrong music playing. With the amount that I've played this game. And like how, you know, just ingrained into my brain, but more so than I even realized what music is supposed to be going on for each bit. It was really weird. Alright, now we saw this with the Queen Ant. See it again there. That's the glitch we're going to be making the most use of throughout this run. We are going to fight Vargas and Sidonia. But what that glitch is it a glitch that lets you bribe boss fights. So, ordinarily the game won't let you bribe boss fights. If you just press the bribe button, it will come up and say, failed to make a deal, even if you have, like, max money. But there is an amount. There is an amount that will let you bribe each boss fight. As long as you have enough money to bribe the fight, if you double tap bribe really quickly or just mash, and you manage to hit X again before the text appears in the box that says fail to make a deal, it will just let you bribe it and escape. Everyone has their price, exactly. The reason that we didn't bribe that one, there's still some contention over whether or not that one could be bribed. But the reason we didn't bribe it is because we get a couple of extra levels. We do need everyone to be of a certain level, and also we need money. This route could bribe them because we've done a couple of Marco games already, so we actually have enough money to bribe them. My route that I do when doing world record attempts hasn't spoken to Marco yet, and so has a lot less money, and so can't really afford to bribe them. There are ways you can get yourself enough money to be able to do it, but I have yet to find a way of working out money so that you can bribe Vargas and Sidonia and have it be a like net positive overall in the run. Also, you miss out on 2 level ups. You remain at level 5 instead of going up to level 7, which poses problems later in the run because you then end up lower level for other things later on. It requires quite a significant reroute, like level-wise, and a significant rejigging of the early game money-wise to bribe that fight there. Two parts in the code. Mashing one doesn't check the flag that indicates the fight is unbribable. So it's only when it comes to display the text in that text box does it check whether the fight is bribable and therefore like what text it should display. And you can clear the box, you can clear the text box and essentially finish the fight before it ever makes that check. Interesting. I didn't know that was. I think that's what you're saying. I didn't know that was the actual like ins and outs of how it worked. All right, so now, right, what's going on? What the hell's going on? Just to fill everyone in. Yeah, it's actually 3 times the reward, but yeah. In this game it is anyway. I don't know about other games in the series. But, yeah, so first mission we got sent on was that one where we flew over on a dragon to go and visit Lady Leknart, recurring character in the series, who gives us a mysterious monologue about how our eyes are very special and we should probably, you know, think about making some significant movements towards our destiny. and then gives Cleo a fire rune just because. Our second mission, working for the Empire, was to go and investigate why the town of Rockland was not paying their taxes. Which we did. We went over there, spoke to the town mayor, Grady, who told us that the town's tax money was being stolen by bandits. So we were like, right, we'll sort this. We're the Empire, we're not going to stand for any bandits. So we went up to the mountain where the bandits live, kicked their butts. And that was the fight we just did. Now and on the way to kick the bandits' butts, we found a huge ant monster, the queen ant, that we couldn't pass. And Ted went, wait guys, I can help, and used some real fancy magic that we've never seen him use before. We were like, and he was like, I'll explain later, let's just go. So now we've got back to the town, we all come back to the house, and Kanan, the kind of Empire representative that was sent with us on that mission, was like, Ted, just come up here with me, would you? And it turns out that Windy, the kind of royal court magician, has been searching for the rune that Ted has for like 300 years. And she's now found him because he gave himself away by using the rune on the Queen Ant on the mountain. So they tried to take him, but he used the rune, got away, but injured himself. When they came to the house, and so he went back to the house. He went back to a place where nobody would ever think to look for him, his house. Because he's just, you know, he's 300 years old. He's got some wisdom. He's got some wisdom up there. He knows what he's doing. So he went back to his house, and then when inevitably the soldiers came to fight. Well, the thing is, the soldiers didn't even think to look for him in his house. Pan had to betray us, telling us he was going out to get medicine, when in fact he was going out to get soldiers. Went and got soldiers, brought them to the house. And so we were all like, Pan, dude, that's not medicine, that's soldiers. And he's like, yeah, I know, sorry, I've betrayed you. So, but in the meantime, Ted had given us the rune. So now we have the powerful rune that the magician Windy is looking for. And Ted has gone off with them as a, like, distraction, as bait. And now we're escaping the town, and we've found this lovable rogue called Victor, who's going to bribe some guards using our money, which he's stolen from us. Because he's a good guy. Nobody will be dumb enough to go back to their home. No, but Craze would know. Craze and Windy would know where he lives. Kanan would know that he was, like, McDowell's friend. And they were all there in that scene. They would be like, we're gonna go to his house. Yeah, exactly. He adopted Ted. Whoops. Oh no, that was right. I thought I was just doing a save there. But I'm not even using the game save function, so I don't know why I thought that. I just suddenly thought I'd made a mistake. I haven't been paying attention to the game very much these last few minutes. Yeah, they are at the border war thing, but I think it would be well known that, like, the guy that installed that medieval Wi-Fi, I think they would... Well, I mean, Kanan has just been on a mission with us. Like, he would know that Ted is at least, like, associated with McDowell, and we would be like, let's go... Like, surely, like, the McDowell Manor would be one of the first places they would think to look, if they have Craze and Kanan advising them about who Ted is and where he might go. I would think, anyway. Pop quiz time. Name the oldest child of the top general in either America or England. Oh, gee, I thought you were doing a Suikoden trivia. Well, yeah, but I'm not another general that works alongside that general in the army. I'm just a regular schmo. I don't know. We're not talking about regular schmoes, though. We're talking about Windy and Craze. We found an extraordinary schmo. Also, this guy who just fell down the stairs here and is all like, but where am I? It's like, mate, you know where you are. You just fell down those stairs and you're embarrassed. This place is a super well hidden hideout. And, like, you sort it out. You came to find it, to find these specific people. You found the secret hideout, found the people, but you're embarrassed because you fell down the stairs, and so you went, where am I? Not having it, mate. Could have had head trauma, yeah. Still does a pretty good job of remembering what, you know, like, what he needed to ask. Maybe he needs to be hit on the head again, then we'll know. Well, these certainly are some encounters I'd rather we weren't having right now. Alright, gonna pop in here, do another quick save. That one. Ha, Flintstone syndrome, exactly. Now we're going to be playing Marco's Cup game for the next considerable amount of time. Talk amongst yourselves. No, I'm just kidding. Right, so that guy came and told us that Grady, the guy who we gave the bandits to, who were robbing taxes, has strung them up and is going to execute them without any kind of trial. Because, in fact, I think we've established this by now, Grady's the one who's been, like, embezzling the tax money and just blamed it on the bandits that live in the mountain. Yeah, at least, yeah, the Marco song slaps, at least, yeah. Hi, Valencia. I mean, Marco's definitely got something dodgy going on financially. Like, how does he have all this money? We're about to win, like, 160,000 bits off him. And supposedly he's, like, a young boy. Even though he looks like an old grandma. Like, that's an old lady, right? No, it's a young boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, one of the more famous censorships in the series. I know what you're talking about, yeah. I'll point it out if I remember, but if I don't, mention it again, and then I'll talk about it. Wait, yeah. Yeah, music back on. Sometimes those audio glitches just fix themselves. So yeah, it was around the time that the Queen Ant happened in Mount Seifu. Why, sorry? Gonna go and save it again now. Just so that if I do have to load that save, I don't have to play those 8 Marco games again. But we are about to talk to Marco again and play 8 more Marco games. But if I have to load this save, now I'll only have to play 8 rather than 16. Gambling simulator, yeah, but it's not a very good gambling simulator because it's really, really easy to predict where the coin's going to be. In fact, if you just leave the simulation and re-enter back into it, the sequence of cups the coin appears under will be exactly the same every time. Yeah. Little mini game within this game, if you mash X quickly enough on the middle cup, you can do it quickly enough so the little arrow hand doesn't appear. Like that! Wow, did it. First try. First try. I think there's only one frame you can do that on. See, I can do frame perfect inputs. Just, yeah, not very reliably, apparently. Two more. Just two more, and then we out. So this, as I mentioned, the Marco Cup game was an RNG reset. And this is the last time we're going to get an RNG reset until Kwanda. So we're going to be tracking RNG from now until the first war fight. Right, now I have to run really cleanly up Rockland and not run into this little girl. Somewhat like that. So there was the censorship that was talked about earlier. We saw I missed it, the cutscene, but where the bandits are tied up. The bandits are tied to like vertical poles with their hands behind their backs. See in the art, we're going to do 3 more bribe glitches here, by the way. See, if you just mash quick enough so the text doesn't appear in that box, you can bribe any. You're not supposed to be able to bribe these fights. But we'll see the way Vargas and Sidonia are tied up outside again in a minute. In the Japanese version, the original version of this game, they were on crosses. They were on like crucifixes. But for that was thought to be insensitive to a Western audience, so they one of the only like changes to the graphics in the game, I think. They changed them just to be like straight poles like that. Yeah, you do still lose money with the bribe glitch. That's why we have to play so many of those games to make sure we have enough. That was like, I've played more than double the amount of Marco games I would in a world record attempt. Just as like marathon safety. Alright, did we hit the nice big gap? I think so. We might see 2 ants towards the end. No, good. Alright. So, kind of acting on behalf of the Liberation Army, but not really, sort of acting on behalf of our own conscience. We rescued Vargas and Sidonia and told Grady he's a dastardly chap and he should be ashamed of himself. And we set his house on fire, so he ran away. And now we've gone back to the Liberation Army, and they're saying that their next plan is to get the blueprints for some weapons called fire spears, and that Odessa would like us to go on the mission with her accompanying. Flick's like, what? And she's like, it's fine, Flick. I trust them. Look at his special eyes. That's fine. So we've got to cross over this mountain. and pick up the Fire Spear's plans from a little village called Saradi. Yeah, be sure to follow Neoslash. He was the guy who did the last run, the Suikoden 2 run. Thanks, Moobot. Hope everyone has their entirely trustworthy tea ready. You know it. Not if it's bitter. I'm prepared to drink whatever this man gives me. Perfectly trustworthy looking man with blue hair and a lovable grin. Look at him. Look at that portrait. Doesn't that just scream, good guy, drink my tea? There he is. So you may have noticed, as I walked out of the inn in Lennonkamp, I walked about 20 steps before hitting the dash button. That wasn't just random, I didn't just forget to hit dash, that was RNG manipulation. Because every frame that you spend on a screen with a moving NPC on it, the RNG is advancing or changing once per frame per NPC on screen. So the more frames you spend on a screen with moving NPCs, the further RNG advances along its sequence. And so that bit of walking was to push the RNG sequence along a little bit so that I land in this nice... I've only had 2 encounters so far on this mountain, and I'm going to have... That was the 3rd one, and I'm going to have 1 more here. And it's a bribe. So we are on... This much of this game can be thought of like walking a tightrope. You have to keep the RNG sequence exactly where it needs to be, and it can... Like, there's 2 moving NPCs here. So every frame I spent on that run to the door there mattered. If I had messed up that run, taken a bunch of extra steps, missed the door, I would be off. That would be... I've fallen off the tightrope, and... You know, not interested. That's my favorite dialogue choice of the game right there. We've got this, like, the emotional music cues in, like, Odessa's clearly having a moment of reflection out on the balcony, the terrace thing, whatever this is. And she says, you know, I'm just thinking. And then she says, can I tell you something? And we're speedrunning, so we say, I'm not interested. And it just makes me laugh every time. I love it. It actually saves, like, a couple of text boxes. Alright, I'm gonna do a... Yeah, that's not Sag, whatever that one is. Right, gonna make a save here. This is an inn, and the game would let you save here. And I'm basically going to take any opportunity to save on a... So there's no RNG advancement on that screen. There are no NPCs that move. RNG stays still, so you can stay on there for as many frames as you need to. So any time there's a save point on a screen with no RNG advancement, I'm basically going to be saving. Should be fine, and whether or not we have made it in time is whether or not we make it to Ledon's hut screen before the next encounter, and I think we will. Yep, good. Then there's no RNG on Ledon's hut screen, or on those bridges, interestingly. You can't get fights on the screen with Ledon's hut, or on those wooden bridges. We're on track. We're still on the tightrope. And this screen is really annoying because there is an NPC in the top left room, so that is a problem. Running into that guy there is really annoying because that's more frames spent on that screen, so more RNG passes, and we're quite tight for where. Well, we're not that tight really. Bribe Glitch. If this was a record attempt, I'd be really annoyed at that because that probably means I'm going to hit some encounters on the world map that I don't want to see. But that doesn't really mean anything for this. It just means we'll lose 3 seconds per encounter that we see. What I'm aiming for is Tai-Ho. RNG-wise, what I'm aiming for. So, as I said, I've been tracking RNG since the Marco Cup games. And a new kind of big deal manipulation that has been kind of worked out is how to manipulate Tai-Ho's dice game. So in order to do that, I need to enter Kaku on a very precise RNG value. I do that by forcing a fight, guiding RNG to roughly the right area till I'm outside Kaku on the world map. Force a particular fight that I know lives at a particular RNG value. Then escape from that fight and enter Kaku. I then enter and re-exit, so it appears on Vicky's teleport menu, but that's how we control the RNG value we enter Kaku on. Then we have to run through Kaku. Yeah, we're going to see like 3 of these. I'm going to force the next one here as well. Oh, it didn't need to force it. Because if I didn't see that before entering Quaba there, I would have seen it on the other side of Quaba, and it would have been in the form of like a group of 6. Beast Commander, 2 squirrels, and 3 rabbits, or whatever it is. And it would be a failed run, so... Oh, I should have called him Stolterheim Rheinbach, the whatever it was. Oh well. Yeah, so after we enter Kaku on a very controlled RNG value, we have to run, step perfectly through Kaku, like, pathing has to be perfect. Take any steps or bonk into any walls and the nips off. Then, in the Tai-Ho dice game, you have to hit the inputs right as each of the text boxes are appearing, and then if you hit that in that window of a few frames as each text box is appearing, the characters in the text box will appear one by one, and the text box will clear in a reliable, repeatable way. Alright, now meanwhile, we've got to get around this little girl who is horrible. That's okay, she was fine. But she can be stood really, really in the way. And there's 3 moving NPCs on that screen, those 3 kids. So if she's in your way and you can't get to that little boy to talk to him, Tai-Ho manip is off, which means that any manip you have for Toran Castle or Wheel or Great Forest, the elf section, anything afterwards is also pretty much gone. But I think we could be still on for Tai-Ho manip. I mean, I'll almost certainly mess up the inputs and the setup as we get closer to it, because it's really hard to do, and I haven't done it in any of my Suikothon practice runs successfully. But, you know, you never know. Could be redemption for my just horrible failure at getting a Holy Rune. So yeah, a lot of this game feels like walking a tightrope, trying to stay on track with where you are in the RNG. And it's very easy to fall off it by accidentally running into something or someone. Or lots of ways, really. And once you're off it, it's not impossible. In some situations, it's impossible, but a lot of the time, it's really, really difficult trying to get back on it if you fall off. Okay, so I accidentally chose the wrong... Again! I'll do it. And then because Gremio, if you choose the right one, Gremio stood up a tile next to Matthew, so he turns down to talk to you and is just not looking at you at all. It's quite funny. Okay, sorry, chat. Brute force a bunch of values to work out the manipulation. Which manipulate... hang on a second. I need to concentrate here. And I walked out of the town instead of run there, which is not ideal. Okay. Still... okay, I think we're going to hit the RNG spot we need to hit for Tomm88. Oh, yeah. I'll try and explain as best I can afterwards, because I just need to concentrate. If I've got any hope of hitting this at all, just need to concentrate for a minute. So I've got to force the fight outside here. Alright, come on, Taiho, let's do it. Let's dance. Alright, that was good. Come on. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that should be 4, 5, 6. Hell yes! Oh my god, I can't believe I got Tomm88 on the... Okay, can that be redemption for my just poor showing with Holy Rune earlier? Huh. And actually talking to Yamku was intentional there as well. I just know that kind of pushes you on to a good RNG spot for Tauran. When I get that specific Taiho die result, I know that talking to Yamku, not 100% reliably, but pretty well puts me in a good spot for arrival at Tauran. Okay. So it's determined by... So Zero did a lot of the work in working out... Yeah, oh, crap. Yeah, I've got my wine right here, Valencia. Thank you, Lady Law. Very much appreciate that. I'm really, really glad I got that. I didn't get it in any of my Suikothon practice runs. But after the poor show of Holy Rune, I'm really glad that I actually got the other hardest manip in the game. Yeah, so it uses the RNG value that the game's on, basically, to determine Taiho's die rolls. It uses it in a formula, and another variable in that formula is like... I don't know if I should get too technical here. But another variable, the formula that determines the die results of the Tai-Ho game uses the RNG value, and one of the other variables that it uses is in-game time in frames based on your last save. Oh, what we calling the castle? What we calling the castle? Which is why I can't save it, because at the moment that value is 0. My in-game time based on the last time I saved it is 0 because I haven't saved it. But if I had saved it, it would completely mess with the Tai-Ho die results, because one of the variables in the formula used to decide what the die results are going to be would be different. I don't know if that made any sense to anyone. I'm going to stop talking about it now. What we calling it? Taco. I mean, it looks like we're calling it taco. Time since last save. I think, apparently it might be time. Zero will know way more about this than me, and he's doing a run of this game tomorrow. So if you're around tomorrow, he's a much better person to ask. But from just from what he's told me and my understanding, it's in game. And he said it with a like, "How dumb is this?" kind of thing. So I think it might be quite unusual. But it's like in game time, number of frames in game time spent, like in game, up until the last time, at the point where you saved last. You know, I could have that wrong though. I could very easily have that wrong. All right, we're doing taco. Taco Castle. Taco Cat. Backwards is Taco Cat. Maybe I should have called it that. Yeah. And so yeah, the real hard part is controlling the RNG value that you're on when you start the Tai-Ho dice game. So like I said, we do that by forcing a fight outside the town and then running step perfectly through the town. And then then RNG is advancing every frame while you're on the dice game screen. So for that, that's why we have to buffer the text boxes and hit those windows of a few frames just before each text box is about to appear. Invisible Vicky! Here's another glitch. Boom. Some recent developments with that as well, which I might talk about in just a minute, but I do need to concentrate. Okay, he moved right. I'm going to save again here. It is very headache-inducing, but I like it. Well, I like the puzzle of it, you know? Just, it turns the game into a completely new type of challenge. Crap. I'm using a PlayStation TV. One of these. Ignore the little label 2 on it. One of these. Otherwise known as the PS Vita TV. Oh, see, that's what happens if I get Tai-Ho in it. I can be where I'm in a familiar spot for I can be in a familiar spot for wheel and know exactly what I'm doing with it. This room does suck casually, very, very much. Yeah, run. Gonna pick up this on the way out. Yeah, I don't really need it because I've got so much extra money. Oh yeah, I have very much botched it myself. In fact, I botched it every Suikothon practice run I did. But that's because I messed up Tomm88. Like, it's all off the back of whatever RNG value Taiho spits you out at. Whereas if you get his manipulation right, you know exactly where he spits you out, and you can plan for it. So now I'm still on the tightrope. Which, frankly, I'm as amazed as anyone. but that tiny party heal. I know, right? The Dragon Seal incense. Such a useful item. Real great item. Can't even sell it, I know. Couple more bribe glitches coming up. This game's extra boots. Which is just as well because Lapant ends up in the back row and literally can't even attack. We do have an opportunity to change formation between the two fights, but for the first fight, Lapant's stuck in the back row and can't do anything. Happens again later with Kuramimi. Yeah, he punches the guard into another dimension. Pay close attention. We're gonna kill Craze. Obviously, we're gonna kill Craze. Yeah, well, so that wheel was, I think, what first led Zero to start looking into what in this game can be manipulated. Because it was just so horrible for speedrunning. It's just such a luck, you know, it just came down to speedrunning the game, ended up just coming down to, you know, get lucky at the wheel. Also the Nameless Urn, yeah. I think manipping item drops came later. I think the first thing was wheel, and then Holy Rune. I will be using Eileen. Yes, I'll be using Eileen for something very interesting, actually. So, I don't know how much y'all know about the Invisible Vicky glitch. The Invisible Vicky glitch has been known about for years now. And it was, if you have Cleo in the back position, in the last position in your party's formation, and only Cleo, then Vicky you'll be able to speak to Vicky in that spot in the basement, as long as only with Castle Level 1. You'll be able to speak to Vicky at that spot in the basement. And I wanted to look into that because I really didn't want to have to bring Cleo with me to the elves section. I wanted to bring Eileen instead. And I wanted to bring Eileen, Victor, and Luke, preferably and Cleo, but you've only got 3 open party slots. So Cleo was the one I really wanted to not bring, so I started experimenting with I started trying to look into what causes Invisible Vicky to happen, and I found a post on Suikosource by Pyriel. Not sure how to pronounce his name, but he's a very well-known, I don't know what the term is, hacker of mainly Suikoden 2. First one is close enough, okay. Um, yeah, looking at that post right now. So I got a couple of memory values that contain coordinates for Vicky's location. And having Cleo in the back spot in your party changes those values to, I think it's 11, 11. And that, as a tile, as a coordinates tile, is accessible and you can speak to it, and that's why Invisible Vicky works. So I then started trying with other characters in the back to see if they affected those, if they put reachable values in those memory addresses. And it turns out Eileen, the exact character that I wanted to bring, changes them to 20 and 20. So if I have Eileen in the back... Wait, what's my... First things first, though. If I have Eileen in the back, I can speak to Invisible Vicky as well, just in a different place in the basement. Gotta see this scene. If you don't see this cutscene, and you Invisible Vicky teleport to Great Forest, game over. Game locks. Okay, Joppo, right movement. Come on, let me get this. There she is. That was left. Oh, I might be really early. Damn. Alright, gonna pick up the escape talisman here as well. So I should now have 2 escape talismen in my inventory. No, I think that is correct. I think I've just written right in my notes when I actually meant left. It would be weird too if you get blinking through space and time, yeah. I feel like she's always at a banquet. Like when she arrives and it's like, oh, I was at a banquet and I sneezed and now I'm here. Maybe that just happens once and it's the only time I can remember. Oh, I'm so glad the music came back. I can't express how just distressed I was at not having the game's proper music. Or suddenly having a young version of yourself. Oh, Suikoden 2 from Suikoden 1's banquet. Is it? Maybe it is. Yeah, yes. That as far as I think your technical knowledge seems a lot better than mine because there's a couple of terms in there that I'm not a bit but yes, yeah, so for most characters, the data that ends up in those addresses is values that don't correspond to reachable coordinates. So yeah, not a reachable point. But yeah, it's only at castle level. So the memory addresses, the memory addresses where people's coordinates live, a lot of the time changes as the castle levels up. So at all other castle levels, those memory addresses correspond to Sonia Shulen's coordinates. But there are also other flags in place that prevent an invisible version of her, an invisible version of really anyone turning up. and that is that you have to have. So, I don't know how much detail to go into about this, how interesting it is for anyone really, but generally, in order for a character to like show up, be accessible like invisibly, before you've recruited them, their coordinate values have to be in a reachable place. So it has to be on. Their coordinates have to be on a spot on the map that you can actually get to, obviously, so you can get to them to talk to them. And everyone else whose sprite is supposed to be, who lives on that screen once you've, recruited them, has to be there. Oh, I think I'm off the tightrope. That's a shame. Only very slightly. Maybe not. Yeah, we did a whole. There was a whole period of like 2 weeks where me and Zero were like, just on a whole like Suikoden invisible characters hype. Wait, that's not right. Yes, it is. But yeah, so I was thinking like it would be really great if we could access shops without having to recruit the characters who own the shops. But it turns out that yeah, you can find out where, say, Jean's coordinates live. You can adjust their values so that they're somewhere you can reach. But you still won't be able to talk to her unless you've recruited every other character that lives on that screen. Which is weird. Weird, I guess, but like, I don't know. So Invisible Sonya in the basement has turned out to be a thing. You just can't access her until after you've recruited every other character that lives in the basement. The most annoying of which is Crowley, because obviously you have to have Castle Level 4 or Castle Level 3? Castle Level 4 before you can recruit him. So it has to be quite late in the game, and then you can go and recruit Crowley as the last person who lives in the basement. Then if you put someone in the back of your formation who adjusts Sonya's coordinates to a tile you can reach, you can go and speak to Invisible Sonya and have her join you, and then have her fight against herself in her own war fight. Which is quite funny. Bit of Funky Town there. Went beep beep boop beep boop 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 beep beep boop. I heard it. Yeah, level 4 for Crowley, that's right, yeah. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Bye. And yeah, all of this stuff with invisible people, that Invisible Sonya thing, literally discovered, I don't know, a month or two ago. Like this hasn't been known for long at all. Wait, what? Which fight? Oh, the Gigantes fight. Yeah, so that's the Bribe Glitch. If you mash X quickly enough on boss fights, as long as you have enough money to bribe that boss. It's the key to the whole any glitched run of this game, really. Yeah, as long as you've got enough money, if you mash bribe quickly enough for the "you failed to make a deal" text not to have a chance to show on screen, you can get out of any fight. An interesting caveat to that, though, is in the 108 glitched category, the pirates that live in that little shack on the rock, that you have to bring Taiho and Yamku to, and you need to fight them, and they join you if you beat them. Taiho's buddies, exactly. You can bribe glitch that fight, and it pays the money, and the fight ends. But they say, but that triggers the scene where, but you haven't beaten them, so it triggers the scene where they say, "Hi, you just need to be a little bit stronger. Try again next time," and they don't join you. So you actually need to fight that fight in 108 glitched, which is really annoying. Vex you and Raw. And see, those are some old names I don't even know. They're like the oldest Suikoden speedrunning names I know are the ones that are still on the leaderboards, really. But I guess was speedrun.com not even a thing in 2005? Save at this point here. Was it like... Was there any Suikoden stuff on like Speed Demos Archive? Oops. Oh, the old school from Suika Source, right. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Rip Tree, yeah. This is the fight where Kuramimi just joins in the back and he can't do anything. Yeah, Lepant earlier. It's really annoying. Which I think I imagine is why they introduced in Suikoden 2 the whole, whenever a person joins your party, it says, "Do you want to adjust the formation?" Yeah, there are a few. There are 2 fights with Lepant, but you do have an opportunity to open your menu between them, so you can bring him to the front. And then there's that one with Kuramimi, and I can't actually think of any more off the top of my head. Maybe there are, though. Okay, so now, these war fights are an RNG reset. So, everything since the Marco Cup games has been tracking RNG and knowing what fights I'm going to get. Now we've hit another RNG reset, so this just pulls it back to this, well, not to the start, but to a point that we know where we can track so that we can track from this point on, and every war fight does as well. Oh, for sure. Suikothon is like... I used to visit Suikothon like daily when I was just casually playing these games. I mean, not the very first time. I don't think it existed the very first time, but... Oh, yeah, 100%. I look up stuff on Suikothon all the time. Gonna pick up the steel shield, even though we don't really need it. You know, I went to, just a couple of months ago, post something on the Suikothon forums, because I found some stuff to do with Invisible Vicky using Piriel's, from Piriel's post. And it said my email address was already in use. I was like, what? I don't have an account on these forums. I've never posted anything before, but apparently I have. And the account name that I had chosen was Death to Sanchez. Death_2_Sanchez. And I had no memory of that. I have no memory of making that whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, Death to Sanchez, right? Bribe Glitch. So that duel was manipulated. I was careful with my step count leading up to it to keep the RNG on a certain value at the start of it, and so I knew exactly what he was going to do. The formation swaps I did at the beginning of just before the fights I took in Vault against the robot soldiers and the dwarves. They were for Luke's magic stat and McDowell's power stat, because stat growths get allocated in order of formation. So it does yours first, then yours at the end of each fight, and so you can, if you know how it's calculated based off the RNG, which Zero's made a tool for as part of his large suite of Suikoden speedrunning tools. You can adjust formations for optimal stat growths for whichever ones are important, and for this run it's McDowell's power and Luke's magic. And Luke's speed to a certain extent as well. Ooh. Wait, check that out. Little escape talisman out of your bedroom, just to a couple of rooms down the hall. Love that. What was I saying? Yeah, so the formation swaps in Vault were about stats, and McDowell's power stat was to make sure that that duel only takes 3 turns and not 4. Ordinarily, I can make sure that the TO duel is only going to take 3 turns and not 4 as well, but I missed some power stats from... with this marathon version, I take a different Varkas and Sidonia fight, so I missed some power stats there, I think. And he never seems to get it. He never seems to get the requisite power for the TO duel to only be 3 turns. So the TO versus Tukdol duel is likely to be 4 turns, but if I get all my nips in, I can make it 3 turns. Come on, Flick. Get involved, mate. Flick doll, indeed. So for anyone who hasn't been in since the beginning of this run, I am Tom, and I speedrun this game a lot on my stream. For a more accurate sort of estimate of how long it's taken me to get here, take about half an hour off the timer, because I had to restart a bunch at the beginning of the stream, at the beginning of the run, because yeah, I was just really... the manips in the beginning of the game are really hard, and I was really struggling with them because, I don't know, marathon pressure maybe, and it took me about half an hour to actually get a run going. So, just if anyone wants a sort of more accurate idea of what sort of time I would be on here, take about half an hour off the time. Yes, I have. I have made it without resetting the timer because I have unbound all of my hotkeys that reset the timer from my keyboard. They're all on a separate controller over to my right that's plugged into my separate like gaming controller over to my right that's like plugged into my PC. So in order to do anything to the timer, I literally have to reach over and press a button on a separate controller. As I mentioned, all of these war fights are RNG resets, so we can very easily predict what's going to happen in these war fights because they pan out. As long as you bring the same number of troops to the war fight, and as long as you take the same actions, the war fights pan out the same every time. So we can easily plan what's going to happen in these war fights and map out exactly what's going to happen afterwards in terms of what encounters we're going to see. All the way through to Sonier Prison. I'll be tracking RNG all the way through to Sonier Prison. Which is not as long as we tracked RNG for before. That was all the way from the Marco games in Rockland through to Kwanda Warfight. Still. Gar Trigger, hell yeah. I made a bunch of YouTube videos. No, Gremio, come with us, it's fine. I made a load of YouTube videos on my channel with a view to kind of updating and documenting the development process of Eiyuden Chronicle. I'm kind of overdue one, actually. It's been probably 6 months since I last did one. Did I put Luke in my party? Yes, I did. So yeah, I'm all over Eiyuden Chronicle, and I will be playing it, probably be streaming it, as well as the companion game. Right, I'm going to save here. Yeah, expect both of them to be at future Suikothons. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to be... a real talent. Real talent. Is that Tayen? It's not Telen, it's Tayen. It's an I in the middle, not an L. See? Wait, what was I saying? Was I going to talk about Doc Cobrin's puns? He's irregular. Throws a lot of puns at the wall. Some of them are great. But yeah, when like the new, we have a name for the like what they were calling the companion game now, but I can't remember what it is. I think we have a name for it. The Eoden Chronicle companion game. Too bad you can't do this more rapidly. There you go. $420 viewers. Who's it? Apparently. Rising, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to play them, and honestly, I'm going to be immediately looking for speedrun strats. Feel like Zero's going to do the same, and he's going to do it better, but I want to be the first speedrunner of those games. Or at least among the first, you know. I want to be in the advanced speedrunning guard of a brand new game. I've never done that before. The endgame party. The endgame party... Join the club. Yeah, exactly, right? Gremio is a key member of the endgame party. No, we will not be saving Gremio or Pan. They are part of the 108% speedruns. Will save Gremio and Pan. But any percent, nope, gonna stay dead. But Victor and Flicker in the endgame party, they're forced upon you. Really annoyingly, actually. We'd be able to, I feel like we'd be able to do the endgame a lot better if we didn't have Victor and Flick forced upon us. It's part of that Pansy scheme. Yeah, good. Alright, I'll give you that one. Oh, that would be a good place to save, actually. Damn. No, it would be magic users. We hardly use any physical attackers at all in this. In the runs where we actually have to fight stuff, it's all magic. It's all like Earthquake, the big Resurrection Rune spell on Netlord. Mostly just Earthquake, to be honest. So we have Mother Earth Rune on Flick and on Hellion, obviously. She comes with it. Have an Earth Rune on Luke. We have Cyclone Rune on Crowley. And then Victor is the Holy Rune. And then, so maybe we wouldn't be able to do it much better. We could probably replace Flick with a better magic user. Maybe Tengar. But actually thinking about it, that'd probably be it. Maybe Cleo's not as strong a magic user as Tengar. Or Eileen. I don't think. I think she's one... she's one sort of rung on the ladder down from Eileen and whoever else I just said, in terms of how big their magic stat grows. Better English, but you know. I'm not sure rune affinities are a thing in this game. Yeah. No, I'm sure rune affinities are not a thing in this game. Where are we going, Ante? Yeah, Earthquake is very busted. Just stupid powerful, hits everything. I don't run 5. I have played 5 a few times casually. It's a great game. I like it very much. Space Coyote will be running 5 this weekend as part of the Suikothon. We're doing a no blacksmiths run, and I don't know enough about the categories of that game to know what that means. I don't know enough about how that game... I've watched a fair bit of Suikoden 5 speedruns, but they're so long. Like, I don't know the strats, really. So I don't really know what no blacksmith means. But I think it's any percent no blacksmiths. It's like a 14-hour run. Yeah, formation skills are the thing in 5. I know that much. Yeah, Pesmerga is very slow. Also, Hellion is also very slow, which makes her not a great deal of fun, but she's a very powerful magic user and has a Mother Earth rune, which you can't remove. Which has, you know, loads of earthquakes. So you kind of just have to deal with her being slow. Oh, what? So you can't have... Does blacksmiths mean no formation skills, then? Okay. Okay, so the only movement error I've made here since the war fight was in Rickon, when I stood around for a few frames before running to the boat. What happened there? Okay. That felt like too long. Nope. We're okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, the only movement error I made during that whole section was, like I said, when Gen was like, let's take the boat for a test drive, and I wasn't concentrating, and I stood still on the screen for a few frames, which would have advanced RNG a bit, but as it turns out, not very much. And all is fine. Hey, Triviera. Yes. I very much enjoy Suikoden as well, and yes, this is very, very heavily RNG minute. Dang. use them, but they wouldn't do damage. Oh, okay, I don't know enough about that game to know. I don't to know how they work. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a useless Opal here. This is a character, an item drop that you need to recruit a character. And it can be a pain. They're not that rare, but they can be a bit of a pain to grind for. But I get one here just as a result of the way the RNG lands. And because we're running any percent, it's going to do nothing but take up space in our inventory, so that's fun. Yeah, everyone's weapon starts at level... Oh, that's why it won't do any damage. No blacksmiths. Everyone's weapon starts at level 1. Yeah, okay. I did know that, actually. I just assumed that blacksmiths using blacksmiths in battle was like some strategy that's like OP, and it's like, I can't use that. But no, it just literally means you can't sharpen weapons. Right, I see. Yeah, 5 does have lots of unskippable text due to voice cutscenes, but honestly, in a, like, well, 12 to 14 hour run, those, it seems to me that those are very welcome breaks, because you can now up, 30 seconds to 2 minutes to, like, stand up and stretch, go to the bathroom, whatever, which you don't get in this game. You don't get in, well, but the runs of this game are comparatively very short. You don't get them in 2 either. Those runs are slightly longer. You don't get them in 3 either. That's like an 11 to 13 to, if you're really crazy and want to do every single chapter, like a 16-hour run. And there's no breaks in it. Gremio! Rip Gremio. F. So we're getting real nerdy speedrunny chat. I haven't explained anything that's happening in the game in a long time, but like we know, people know this game, right? Wouldn't feel like wouldn't be watching if you didn't. Maybe you are. He was our good friend, and now he's dead. We say ... because it's emotional. Well, I say our good friend. It was sort of our friend, but also on the other hand, kind of like our butler or servant. So you know. He's Grammy over. Exactly. He was your nanny, yeah. Yeah, you're not the only one. One of my good friends who I played the game with growing up was convinced Gremio was a woman. That's alright, we just need to go to a different floor where there's happy music. And then war music. Haven't done a save in a while. That could be a problem. Oh, Marco. I mean, Marco is very clearly an old woman. But supposedly he's a young boy. Yeah, Marco's definitely an old woman. I think everyone thought that, because Marco quite clearly is an old woman. Oh, I moved... Yeah, 108 tacos of destiny, your nanny comes back. Yeah. Yeah, the one that you play the cup game with in Rockland. Oh yeah, Milik. The guy who I'm gonna try real hard not to kill. Wait, 29 Rooks, who also, congratulations on, just being in a position to be able to actually talk to the sprite artist. Are we talking about Marco? Yeah, I know who that is. Oh, did you mean Marco? She said Marco was a woman. Yeah. Cool. So she was always clear when you spoke to her she was a woman. Who? Marco. Another man that looks like a woman there. Yes, Pan, you are to fight General Tio. You are not going to fare very well, I'm afraid. Pan's gonna find out what happens with snitches. He sure is. I know, it's really unfair that they, like... that they put this in here, because it's like, who's gonna have Pan trained up? He disappears from the game for ages and comes back super low level. Like, no one's gonna just use him. Yeah, they don't prepare you for this fight at all. It's, yeah, it was pretty sneaky. I mean, it's hard enough to go around and, like, collect all the characters. You believe in Pan? He's got this. Yeah, I think so. I think if we all just believe... maybe Pan can survive. And then mess up my army numbers for the rest of the war fights. Alright, come on, Pan. You got this. You got this, buddy. Oh, he was close. He did 1 point of damage, which, you know, you can't knock him for that. Yeah, ZBD. That's what we do in the 108 runs. We manip the hell out of that duel, and we do have to sharpen Pan's weapon and get him some levels as well. But yeah, that's very much the approach. He got pwned, sure did. He did his best, and we can't ask any more of him than that. Now he's going to die as a traitor, and that's just, you know, just the way it goes. I will say for Pan, though, I think he has my favourite character arc in this game. Like, there's a lot of characters in this game, but a lot of them are quite static, don't really, like, develop from one thing into another, or you don't really know much about their, like, motivations, or, like, their flaws, or, you know, or anything. But Pan, like, you really see him struggle with his decision in the beginning, make a decision that he regrets, and then goes on a full journey to end up fighting Tio, who he was doing it all in the name of. Yeah, I think he has the most fleshed out character arc in the game. Oh man, I paused for a second there because I forgot what I was doing. And I'm actually supposed to be tracking RNG here. Oh well. Yeah, exactly. It was such a huge character moment, and then he just gets absolutely wrecked, and you're like, okay, well, I'm obviously supposed to lose that fight. Like, that's the thing. You just assume you're supposed to lose that fight in the end. Like, well, the first time you play, and then, you know, you kind of discover one way or another that it's winnable, and you're like, okay? Oh, I'm nowhere close to where I'm supposed to be for this world map walk. To Siren. Run? Good. Now, cheeky little approach here. You exit Calica. Calica's a scary dungeon to have to walk through. Exit it straight away, speak to Vicky, teleport back there, she puts you on the other side. That's neat. Anyway, sorry, the characters were designed to be gender and race neutral. A lot of the characters were gender indistinguishable, and Gremio was supposed to be weak, then die, so yeah, okay. Right. But when you you said earlier, when you talked to Junko Kawano about, when you spoke to Junko Kawano, she was very clear that she was supposed to be a woman. And I just want to be clear on who you were talking about there. Were you talking about Marco? Was that Junko was very clear that she was supposed to be a woman? Or someone else? Because we had thrown a few names around by then about men who look like women. Oh, okay, right. No worries. Just wanted to be clear. I thought that was gonna like rock the foundation of, you know, the most sort of popular little thing. I feel like, you know, do you know Marco is a do you know Marco's not actually an old woman, but a, you know, a little boy? That's like the Suikoden equivalent of, you know, Viggo Mortensen broke his foot when he kicked that Uruk-hai helmet, right? No, actually, don't board. I'm going to go up here. Oh, sorry, was there a question about Tai-Ho? Is it... Ah! What? The chat disappeared. Ah! Come back! Oh, sorry, my chat window just closed there. I like finding out George McFly was played by Christopher Plummer. Okay. Alright, we're back. Saved the game. And wait, how close are we? Oh god, have I got to... We've already done this. Get on the boat. Probably didn't... I didn't even have to run all the way back to the boat there. I could have just run out the top, the map. yeah. No worries, man. Just wanna... I thought we'd had something revelationary? That... Revelatory? Whatever the word is. From, like, the horse's mouth. And so I was like, okay, let me just be clear on this. Well, absolutely. But apparently he has no... expresses nothing in the way of that. But rather just is a strategist. Are we just strategist here? Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then just 5 default charge, yeah. I should know what to do in this fight by now. Fishermen's. So if it looks like I'm taking my time in this war fight, I mean, it's probably looked like I'm taking my time throughout a lot of this run, but if I kind of am taking my time in this war fight because all of these little units, nope, have to reset their position before I give the command for them to run off again. So if they're still, so look how they're running back to position now. I have to make sure they're back and still before I send them running off again. Otherwise, the RNG minute for the next for the duel won't work, and the RNG sets up my whole Necklord segment. So if I mess up this bit, it's really, really bad. If I mess up this war fight, it's really, really bad. Awesome. I didn't realize she was, you know, just easily sort of reachable like that. Did she, I assume, were you speaking to her in English? Does she speak English? Like, I mean, maybe that's ignorant. I have no idea how well Japanese people generally speak English. Do we ever see those lizards, Heroes Armor Rise, anywhere else in the series? They're called gull horses, apparently. I can't think of another time we see them, but apparently we do. No, well, maybe we don't. I don't know if we see them, but 58, 60 is the minimum we need for a 3-turn duel here. Supposedly, last time I did this run, I had Dreamy Warrior of... Well, that's a load. What a misclick. Please no sound glitch. Yeah, there's no sound glitch there, is there? It was just extra loud for a second. Third floor. I was distracted to end the cutscene early. Nope, I just pressed the wrong thing. Way too dank. Yeah, we both dead. Yeah, I mean, we both died. But that means he wins. Alright, gotta not mess up this war fight again. As in, like, I didn't mess it up last time and I have to not mess it up again. Gotta start concentrating, really. sort of feels like I'm here to just sort of hang out. I can't see how many viewers we've got. I don't, like, my usual stream information is not sort of available in the same way as it usually is. So in a lot of ways, this very much just feels like I'm just chilling out on one of my normal streams. Thanks, Moobot. Be sure to follow Neo/72, who was the runner before me. Awesome. Cool. That's about, yeah, stayed pretty steady after... I think that was roughly the amount that was around for Neo's run. Not that it really matters. It's quite nice not looking at how many viewers there are, to be honest. Oh, nice. Thanks for thanks for changing that, Zero. All right. Let's not do that again. Whoop. Yeah, all three of those, in fact, all four of the last links in the chat. Follow all four of those, if you'd be so kind. Alright, let's pay attention now. Come on, I'm here to do a thing, not just to hang out and talk. There we go. We got him. Don't worry, guys. I killed him. Reset just means more Tom. Yeah, that's why I did it, really. Just a full narcissist. Yeah, don't forget to sub to all of them as well. Thank you, Rooks. Almost followed Tom with 1M. Whoever that guy is, he took the name I should really have had. Thanks, Siglance. Yeah, follow that guy as well. That link. First floor? No! Damn it, that's actually quite bad. Yeah, I'm gonna bribe Necklord in the first fight. That's how I'm gonna get around that. Got loads and loads of money. I haven't eaten into my my big money buffer at all. So yeah, I'm gonna bribe. I messed up. Went to the wrong floor, and like tracking the RNG is very important here. Thanks, Sig. Thanks for checking in, Sig. I appreciate that. Yeah, I messed up the elevator, which actually yeah, the RNG actually really does matter here. Who am I putting in the party? Flick, Luke. Flick. Luke. Stallion. Back in the day, RNG manips just a dream you once had for the game. Yeah. Well, they have very much become a painstaking, laborious reality. But yeah, so I did mess up and go to the wrong floor there, and those frames are going to matter, and so I don't want to risk being too far behind. So I'm going to, and I've got plenty of extra money, so I'm going to bribe the unwinnable Necklord fight for 30k. just to make sure I don't end up late. Because that would be disastrous. Ending up late in the RNG now, I mean, really, just doesn't bear thinking about. Like, I might reset to before the TO duel again. I think that would probably be quicker. Well, in order to be within estimate, I need to finish the game in 27 minutes. And let me tell you, that is not going to happen. Gonna get at least an extra half an hour of this guy. So brace yourselves for that. What sort of RNG points are we trying to manipulate at this point? So the whole route through Cave of the Past, Necklord's Castle, and the Dragon's Den section. It's there are certain points in the RNG sequence where we need to arrive at all of those in order to avoid horrible fights that we can't get out of. To track what encounters we hit so that we don't have to bribe anything. Yeah, bribing that. I appreciate you believing in the SRD. But if anyone's tuning in to see Seglance's Tierkreis run, it is going to be starting late. I regret to inform you. Alright, up then down from 2 different NPCs. I messed up by not being 6 hours behind, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that can be arranged. So I think I got that NPC indicator right. There it is. Nope. And it was important that I swapped Cleo and Flick's position, because initially Cleo was in the position that Flick is now in. And she is currently only level 7 and would not have dodged that attack and would have been killed by it. And that would have been very, very bad. Well, it wouldn't have been very, very bad. It would have been irritatingly bad. Oh, I'm a little bit late here. Normally I only see that fight around the time when I get the chest there. And I would love to find a way of not having to pick up Crimson Cape. To be fair, in this run, I really didn't have to pick it up, because I've got plenty of money, but it's just part of the route, so I'm doing it as it would be. But yeah, like that one golem fight I usually see around here. So I think I'm gonna see. There's a fight that should be the last fight. And I'm gonna see one more fight on top of that, I think, which is a shame, but never mind. Not the end of the world. That's such an easy menu, just down X 7 times. Still managed to mess it up for the last fight, though. Oh, maybe I could have... There's a little glitch on those stairs. I could have shown it off a bit, but never mind. So the next fight we see is going to be a group of 5, the Elementals and these guys run. And that's supposed to be the last fight I see, but I don't think it's going to be. I think I'm going to see another one of those. Not that it really matters, but... Ah, so close. Chill, Star Dragon Sword. Gah. Hey, Ted. Looking a little young there, bud. Young Ted hype. Sure. I feel like I just noticed that you look weird. Your sprite looks weird when you walk through that door. I feel like your head almost clips into like the top of the door frame. Yeah, the Star Dragon Swords are generally pretty unpleasant, I would say. Great game and a great speed run. Thank you for saying it's a great speed run. And I agree that it's a great game. I think Necklord, I think this is my favourite part of the speed run. Raid from Randomania. Well, hello there. Thank you so much for dropping by. We do appreciate that. Welcome. My name is Tom, and we are speedrunning Suikoden as part of Suikothon, weekend-long marathon of back-to-back Suikoden speedruns. This is any percent Suikoden 1. I really struggled to get a run off the ground in the beginning, so we're about half an hour behind where we should be. Way behind schedule. But we're having a lovely time. That's all that matters. But yeah, I think the Necklord segment is probably my favorite part of this category to run, just because I'm so pleased with how it turned out. Like, it's a difficult section to route well. Like, to be optimal with, and I was determined to make it work without... So, usually, in every other speedrun of this game, until I did this category this way, the way that you do this section is, so Marco, the cup little boy who looks like an old lady, appears in Warrior's Village. Just can't stop listening to the music, yeah. So Marco appears in Warrior's Village, and you speak to him to reset the RNG, because speaking to him resets RNG, so you can easily work off of that, and that makes there very little risk to this segment at all. But you have to get Castle Level 3. How do we know he's a little kid, not an old lady? You know, I can't remember the source of that, but I feel like it's a commonly known thing. I don't know. I feel like, of all people, you would know how we know that. Oh my god, get in there, please! Okay, well, it's gonna be interesting now. Jesus Christ. Remove you. Oh, things are gonna get spicy. I don't think they're going to get that spicy, actually. I think we're fine. That was just really unfortunate, struggling to get through the door there. There's only 2 NPCs on that screen, I think, and there's 3 on this screen, and I usually have to wait on this screen for much longer than that, so I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. And then, bang. But yeah, so in order to get Marco to appear in the village there, you have to have a certain number of recruits. You have to have Castle Level 3. And if you don't have that number of recruits, Marco doesn't appear there, so you can't speak to him to reset the RNG. Which makes... And so I thought, now I'm running this category, I'm not going to take the time to go and recruit all those other people, and I'm just going to do a much harder version of the RNG manip where I track the RNG all the way from the TO war fight, all the way through this section without having Marco there as a safety net to reset it if I need to. Because I'm a madman. And I was determined to make it work, and I think I have, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Like, the cave is pretty horrible to root. Just because it's such a long dungeon, and the fights are really expensive to bribe. Necklord's Castle is similar, but I have Champion's Rune now, so less so. So look how long I'm going to go here without seeing a fight. Oh, Marco's birth date is in one of those Japanese-only encyclopedias. Huh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm just trying to kick the gambling addiction, exactly. Head to my local library, and ask them if they've got that. They've got one of those Japanese-only, like, Suikoden encyclopedias. Here we go, first fight of the dungeon. Now, Flick's going to crit the unicorn. Usually he kills it, but we have Victor attack as well, just in case he doesn't. Okay, he did. Good. Oop. Speed, 134, 130. Wow. Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, we're all good. And I needed to know their speed before that fight. That fight was what I needed to know their speed order for. Ha! Well, turns out it was fine. I just suddenly remembered, oh wait, I'm supposed to know who's faster out of Flick and Luke for this bit, because if Flick's faster than Luke, then I need to do a formation swap and do that fight differently. But in the moment, I just thought, oh, I can't remember what for exactly, but I need to know who's faster. Just went for it. Luke is faster most of the time, and I got my formation swaps that I do in Vault, for the fights in Dwarf Vault. Also try and give Luke really good speed, so that just to try and make sure that he is faster than Flick as often as possible, but we can't really control Flick's starting speed. We could, but it would take such a long time and precise movement, it just wouldn't be worth it. Bribe Glitch. Marco's clearly a Harmonian spy. That's, yeah. I'm down with that theory. Hiya! Necklord defeated by money, indeed. We won't ever see him again. He won't appear in any of the rest of the series. He is finished. So yeah, we got almost the whole way up here. So we do want to see a fight that we can kill here for experience. So we got all the way up, and then just before Necklord, we see that one fight that we can kill with an earthquake and a crit. And then on the way back down, we see 4 encounters, but they're all runs. We don't need to bribe anything. And it took me a really long time to find a spot that's this nice in the RNG for this section. It took a real long time. And so yeah, just knowing how long I worked on this section and like how good it ended up being. I think this is my favorite part of the run. But it's over now. Look at Tengar stood in the banister. There's not really a tile for her there, so she's just like meshed in with the scenery. It's earthquake! Can never take the name Zorak seriously. You can picture a giant mantis. Is there a mantis in something called Zorak? Yep. Space Ghost. I'll have to take your word for that. Keep forgetting that I've called him Tukdol. Whoops. Ooh, this is going to be interesting now. Ah, okay. Well, this, ooh. Alright, we are in some actual trouble now. I think we're going to be improvising our way through Dragon's Den, which is quite scary because... because we need to fight. We need to kill a group of 5 in Dragon's Den. Otherwise, we're going to be able to... Otherwise, we won't have a champions level high enough to not see any fights in Seek Valley. And then our XP route will just be generally off. So that was a pretty bad goof, I would say. I am actually not playing the PAL version of the game. When it comes to speedrunning, PAL is in fact not your PAL. It runs even on a PS TV, buying it from the PS Store, the digital version. If you have an EU account, $50 exactly. That's the short version of the long-winded thing I was about to say. You have an EU account and you buy the EU version. It's the PAL version, so it runs at 50 Hz. Which I did and found out the hard way. So then I had to make a US account, make up an address in the USA, tell it that was where I lived, make an account, and then you need to register a US credit card, which I couldn't do because I don't have one, so I had to go and buy vouchers off a website to go and top my US account up with dollars. Oh. Is there a save point in here? Is there a save point outside? Oh, God, this is going to have to do. Okay, my XP route is going to be off. Okay, I think that did give us enough levels, though. And also, I don't do any more fights until the Gregminster Palace fights, so XP route doesn't matter anymore. So it's all fine? Question mark? Uncertainty? Yeah, I think the only risk we still have is these upcoming world map fights. World map walks. These are no longer maniped in any way, so... Run, please. Thank you. Yeah, so I am playing the NTSC version. So I had to make a US account to get it because that runs at 60 hertz rather than 50. So, you know, when you're trying to speedrun, having the game run like 13% slower is a real problem. But the naming glitch, is only a thing in the NTSC version, as is the Suikoden 2 glitch where the warfight music doesn't play in a lot of the warfights. As well as a couple of other things. There's a kindness room glitch that got me when I was doing I got my alignment, my horizontal positioning exactly right, or is that vertical positioning? I don't know. The PSP version you can run at double speed at all times. Why, is that just because you can move diagonally? Oh, kindness is in all versions, is it? Oh, I never ran into it playing it on my disc on my PlayStation as a kid. I never ran into it. I don't remember it ever happening, and I played that game a lot. And then, yeah, I did a casual playthrough of it on stream on, you know, the PSN version, Suikoden 2. And, yeah, it wrecked me. It completely crashed my game. Like, several times. The villains are entering. That's what that music's saying. Oh, is it really? Interesting. It'd be really interesting to try and work out some speedrun strats for that, because I mean, the tile system can't, but the fact that you can move diagonally, like, the tile system can't work in the same way. Maybe it can. But I feel like at least some of the game would have had to have been, like, rewritten to allow for diagonal movement. Although maybe not. I'm talking as if I know anything about how games are written, which I don't. Oh, yeah, so I should say the Bribe Glitch. Just as long as you've got the money to do it. Which is actually, like, not that much. Like, the money that you get from Crystal Core Fight is, I think, 100,000. And generally, the cost to bribe a fight is 3 times the reward you get from it. But it does not cost 300,000. It costs 30,003. So is that like some sort of underflow issue? Why has my timer gone red? Timer. Why have you gone red? Oh, I know. Because because I did a practice run of this last night, and I got 255. It's quite fitting that the timer's gone red, to be honest, because, well, in 5 minutes' time, I am going to be overestimate, so that works. But yeah, the actual costs associated with bribing the bosses are weird. Bribe amount is 3 times the reward you get for them. For standard enemies. But then for bosses... Well, for some of them it is, but it's like it's almost as if there's a maximum amount that a bribe price can be, and then it just underflows after that because, like I say, you get 100 grand from the crystal core, but it costs 30,003, which is a really weird amount, but that's how much it costs to bribe it using the bribe glitch. So there must be some sort of underflow shenanigans going on there, I would suspect, but I don't really know. But yeah, as long as you have whatever the amount of money you need for the boss is, just tap really quickly on bribe, and as long as you hit X again before, so normally it would just display a dialogue box that says, "You failed to make a deal." As long as you hit X again before that text has a chance to display, so all you get is the blank dialogue box, it will exit the fight. And, like, pay the money. So much of the programming was changed. See, I thought it must have been, but I'm not familiar enough with programming or game development to have any kind of idea about that, really, so I didn't want to start talking about it and make an idiot of myself. Yeah, I would really like to give it a try. I wish I knew more. I wish I was better at reverse engineering stuff out of games, because I would love to figure out, stuff like how fights are determined, how RNG works in those games, because I feel like diagonal movement, it can't work in the same way. Alright, you. Give me a save point. Please. Oh, that wasn't really where I meant to do that. Meant to do it after this scene. Oh well. Gotta remember to say no to Milia. No. Yeah, the elephant sounded the dragon and the duck sounded the menu. Great. Classic Suikoden noises. Yeah, well, I feel like I also make an idiot of myself all the time. No, don't ask. I just don't need another way in which to do it. The game already tracks sub-tile positions. Does it? Into the first floor again. This is just becoming a shambles. Oh, Moravia. I'm playing the elevator inventor. Yeah, that was weirdly difficult to say. Yeah, who in this game is Sergei, and is it Adelaide in the second one, but isn't there also a thing about how it's not really, it's just powered by like monsters moving and turning a wheel or something? I can't remember. Stairs only %. Well, funny you should say that. My good friend Charmel, who is around in the speedrunning community, was working at one point on nope, did exactly the same thing yesterday. Was at one point working on a low % of this game, where you literally, like, no optional characters at all. So, like, you have to recruit the minimum number of characters. So no Vicky, No Hellion, no blinking mirror. You know, no Sergei for the elevator. Like, if the game doesn't actually make you recruit them, then you don't recruit them. You get as few recruits as possible, which sounds brutal. But oh, chat didn't disappear before. It just the little pop-out window. I clicked somewhere else in my OBS window, and the little pop-out window disappeared. See, I told you I make an idiot of myself all the times. All the times. See? Alright, we've not got Troll Griffith. So Griffith is a war fight, as you can see, and as such resets the RNG to a reliable value. But one time in 50, maybe one time in 20, he resets to a completely different value and ruins everything. It actually doesn't, in this category, fortunately, it actually doesn't ruin that much, but in 108, it really ruins everything. And you can tell whether he's done that by the formation of his troops. And he hasn't. That looks how they should. Kablam! Wrecked. It is indeed rock, paper, scissors. But because as long as you have the same number of recruits each time you start the fight, they'll do the same thing. Cut off his head! Ruins it in Run 08 because I'll talk about that in just a second. I need to concentrate because I have a thing here. Click Cleo Stallion. It ruins it in 108 because the... so it would mean that at this point, I'm on a completely different RNG value to what I would normally be on. So I've got no idea what encounters are going to happen. Oh, come on! Every time! Can I bribe it? 21-6? Are we okay? I think we're okay. I practiced that earlier, and I couldn't get that fight. Every time I did it, I landed perfectly in between the fights and got the clean... But then every time in an actual run, I always see that fight. Anyway, I've been gone for a bit. Where is Gremio? Yeah, so if I'd got Troll Griffith at this point, I'd be on a completely different RNG value. As it happens, all the RNG value in this category, all the RNG matters for is this one run through Moravia. So we see this fight, and then one more. And that's it. In 108, we have to run through Moravia 3 times because we have to run all the way back up Moravia to recruit Vincent and back down, and we have to like fight a couple of fights for levels, and those are very specifically manipulated fights. And then after that, we have a series of recruitment journeys that also require some RNG manipulation. I might be wrong about that. But it messes up a lot in 108 because a lot happens. We need to do a lot of stuff after it, and Moravia itself we need to walk through 3 times and fight fights in, and it's a very dangerous and scary dungeon. This category we just need to run through it once, which is like, what, just so much nicer. At this point, Gremio is a stew. Yeah, Moravia is unpleasant, but like I said, any percent, it doesn't matter too much. It's kind of easy. The most annoying thing for me with any percent is that world map walk leading up to it. I'm the captain. What's up? Somebody finally doing Suikoden. Yeah, man. There's a whole Suikoden speedrunning community out there doing stuff. We got an event happening this whole weekend long. Stick around on this channel, you'll see more of it. Okay, Seika. Really. Can I continue? No. Got to go back to before Moravia. Literally, I was in the middle of saying the sentence, I've really got to try hard not to sell that Cyclone Crystal because that's end of the run. Because that's run dead. Can I continue? Can I do it with Earthquakes? Yeah, I'm going to have to. It's going to take too long. Alright, yeah, I'm not going to reset again. I'm already way behind schedule. I'm not going to reset again. I'm just going to try my best to do... Gregminster with Earthquakes. I could bring Hellion. Yeah, I'll keep an Earth Rune on Luke and I'll bring Hellion. We'll have enough juice to sort it out, and then we'll just have to hope that we don't get encounters that we can't escape from. Who's in the final party? It's Cleo. Cleo, Luke, and I mean Camille if I'm on RNG correctly, but I'm not, so I won't bring Camille. Yeah. Yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah. Yeah, I can always use Hells too, that's very true. Hey, I don't need saving. It's fine. It's alright. We're gonna just have to improvise our way through the end a little bit. We're already 10, Siglance's Tierkreis run should have started 10 minutes ago. And you know, that's on me. I gotta take the hit for that one. Probably got 20 minutes left. Yeah, two voices. You can also Black Shadow and Voice of Earth. That works. Don't know if that's faster than a Hell though. Yeah, I guess it would be slightly slower as well. Because Black Shadow is like still kind of a long animation. Ah, thanks 29 Rooks. That's a lovely thing to say. Alright, now, remember how every time we've started a war fight, I've said, war fights reset the RNG to a predictable, reliable value, so we always know exactly how a war fight is going to go. Well, that goes for every war fight except this one, except Sonya. This lady, with her war fight, can reset you to one of about 30 different values, and so we need to use a little tool crafted by our own 01337 here. I think I recognize that. I think that's 43. That is 43. Look, I know the patterns off by heart. Who needs the tool? Forget Zero's tool. Although I did need to confirm it with Zero's tool. But, anyway. So we need to look at the Where's Waldo tool, exactly. Which in my country is called Where's Wally. Little UK trivia for you there. Yeah, this one's not great. I hate these ones where I have to do an extra charge into another charge, into Sonia's charge. Yeah, just do magic. They'll show you where Waldo is. But, we're not going to feel the power of the science. It's too slow to feel the power of the science, unfortunately. I'm a fan of the power of the science, but unfortunately it is just simply not quick enough for a speedrun. Although we do it in the second Tio fight. I'm going to save here, because I'm a coward. Yeah, I had some setups that used strategists, but then it never cut out a turn from the fight. It just it made another turn shorter because her side ended up smaller. But mostly it was just to adjust RNG, and it was like, this sucks. I can't use it just to adjust RNG. It's too slow. Right, now my notes for this setup say, I'm only going to see one fight, and it's going to be right near the end of the dungeon. It's a second attempt run. So I'm going to fail the run and then succeed on it the second time. And my notes next to that say, real tight, move good. So, gonna try and do that. Saving in marathon equals genius strat, thank you. So yeah, if I mess up by more than a few steps, or running into walls, accidentally running into walls or edges is the real killer here. Like, you can bonk around them if it just, like, dinks you round it. We're fine, though. Failed run. If you, like, spend frames running into a wall, then RNG is advancing every frame, and that's not good. Like that. But I was still... After every fight you escape from, there's a 60-step grace period where RNG doesn't advance, and you can run into walls during that, and I was still in the grace period after that soldier fight then, so that's fine. Real tight, move good, yeah. That's the kind of notes I write for myself. Bye, Sonia. Sonia, why? Sonia's just... Okay. You wanna know my thoughts on this section? This is a stone fortress, clearly. Very clearly made out of stone. Floating on either, like, the ocean or a large river or a lake, with water running all the way through it. We need to destroy this fortress, so what method do we choose? Fire. Can we just take a minute to think about that? Like, what? Of all the ways we could destroy this fortress, stone fortress, floating on water with water running throughout. What method do we choose? I mean, am I the only one that just thinks that is extremely silly? They'll never see it coming. There should be a plug somewhere. Sink it, yeah. Just unplug it. Ha! What an emote. See, now this is fire solves all. See, now this is where our boy, our butler slash servant boy, Gremio, would be returning to us if we were in a 108% run. But unfortunately for him, we are not. So he's going to be remaining in the underworld for the time being until Zero's run. I think around this time tomorrow. Oh no. In far less time than that, in about 7 hours. Like 9 hours from now. I know math good. Commander took Dull. Samwise is the greatest hero ever. Gremio less good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You say Gremio carries an equivalent amount of burden in this game that Samwise does in Lord of the Rings. Not sure you can say that, really. I do like Gremio's character arc as well, though. I talked a bit about Pan's character arc. Gremio's a man. Gremio is indeed a man. Yes, yeah. I like Pan's character arc a lot. He goes on a full and complete journey, which I very much like. And I think Gremio has a really good character arc as well, because his whole identity is built around protecting and serving young master. And he has to come to terms with young master not needing him anymore, and we see that play out, and he, in his last moment, chooses to do a thing that what am I doing? Then magic times 3, yeah. Yeah, then the last thing he can do is protect young master in his last moments, because yeah, I think Gremio has a very powerful arc as well. It is hard to spare Milik after that. Slightly softened by the fact that he, only kind of did it under like mind control. Side note, by the way, final war fight of the game, we didn't lose a single unit. 10-6-6-5 was the count we started on and the count we end on. You're supposed to hate Gremio, then feel bad when he dies. Yeah, honestly, I never felt any particular attachment to Gremio. Like, it was sad when he died, but right, who am I bringing? Gonna bring Cleo because we need to sell our Champion's Rune. Luke because magic. And maybe Hellion, although what, has she even got any earthquakes yet? Maybe not. Grensil? No. Well, I can't think of anyone better. So no. Gonna be Hellion. Oh, she has 3 earthquakes. Fine. Gonna leave Luke's Earth Rune on him. We're just gonna remove Champion's Rune from Cleo. And that's it. Oh, you're very welcome, Toshibam. No, not buy. Sell Master Garb, Chaos Shield. Still got that Steel Shield. I knew I wouldn't need it. Champion's Crystal. That's about it. Boop. Yeah, I think Pachinko is like the only form in which Suikoden still does exist, really. Well, like, you know, it's all Konami want to do with it now, right? That's the meme anyway. I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to it. All right, so we're not in improvisation territory yet. As a result, so for anyone who missed it, I have a cyclone crystal. You pick up a cyclone crystal that you give to Luke for this dungeon, for the final dungeon, and I sold it. So, by accident. So, we are look cheeky skip. 2 soldier fights supposed to be here. Whee. So we're gonna have to be using. Oh no! Don't start that, SRD. I haven't rested him. So he only has 1 earthquake. Can we escape Talisman out of here? That's not worth it. It's gotta be hell time, hasn't it? Alright. Hellion's gonna earthquake, but the soldiers are gonna attack first. I hope they don't kill anyone. Nah, they're fine. You just straight up don't need equipment in this game. Right, well we only need to kill 5 of these groups, and we've got enough earthquakes to do 4. So then it's just going to be a hell, and then hoping that we can run through the following screen without... In fact, yeah, I'm going to slightly change the way I do this. Am I? No, that doesn't make any sense. No. I'm just going to do it the same way. So I fight all of the groups on this screen, basically bribe everything else. Alright, now, let's see hell. We were not so... If you ever... The only time you're ever supposed to see hell in a speedrun is when Ted uses it on the Queen Anne. If you see hell in a speedrun of this game, for any other reason, something has gone very badly wrong. So there's hell. Yeah. Alright. That's all we need to do, and then good, we made it to this fight. We bribed this. Then can we make it through this screen? Oh, 1 of those. I don't know if we can bribe it, but we can run. Okay, what money have we got? Oh, we got loads of money. Oh, something went wrong with the run. Oh, yeah. Well, I sold the Cyclone Crystal that I'm supposed to use to kill all of those fights by accident. Sold it. Got carried away in the shop, and I said, take it. So I had to find more ways to kill those fights, which means I'm way off RNG, so... But it's fine. We're right near the end. It's all going to be fine. Epic boss fight coming up, though. There it is. Thrill ride, wasn't it? Alright, Sigalance, are you ready? You got 4 minutes. I know, there's something kind of sweetly ironic about you spend the whole game fighting against an empire that's corrupt. And then the way you beat the emperor, the ruler of that corrupt empire, is by bribing him. Something kind of cool about that. Professor Palmer with the raid. Thank you so much, my dude. Hope your stream was good. For all of you raid party, I am Tom. And this is the end of Suikoden 1. Quite considerably overestimate. But really it was all just an intentional ploy to maximize my screen time. Goddamn 29 Rooks, you are in there, man. You are in with the elite. I'm here for it. Well, this is almost an hour slower than my world record in this category. Here's the romance, yeah. For anyone who's interested, world record in this category is 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 36 seconds. So yeah, we're going to be like 50, little over 50 minutes. Although this wasn't all one run. The first half an hour of the time on that timer was me resetting runs over and over again, because I kept failing the Holy Route. No, yeah, Suikoden 5 is not on PS3. Oh, whoops. At least not where I am, anyway. Thank you. Do you know the reason for that? Is there, was it just too hard to, like, port them? By the way, this dude in the bottom left, because we did the little skip of the soldier fights, we didn't fight them, so he's still just chilling there. He's still just standing there guarding that little spot on the corridor. If anyone walks on those tiles in the corridor that I've been commanded to watch, whoa. If anyone walks very precisely around them, they're fine, they can go. I haven't been asked to guard those tiles. Voice actor contracts. Oh my god, the voice acting is the worst thing about Suikoden 5 and 4. But, well, I don't know if it's the worst thing about 4, but it's definitely the worst thing about 5. Sorry if that's a controversial opinion, but I hate the voice acting in Suikoden 5. It, like, all but ruins the game for me, honestly. I turn it off when I play. It's cringe. It's cringe voice acting is what it is. All right, we're almost there. Or just use Japanese maybe. Yeah. Yeah, we're half an hour. Pretty standard for the era, yeah, sure, but still. Bang. 3 hours, 30 minutes, and 12 seconds. There we go. Alright, I'm not gonna spend too long wrapping up because I was supposed to be off of this stream 31 minutes ago. So, Siglance, what you saying? If I hit the stop streaming button, you ready? Almost the sub 240. Yeah, I keep grinding, I'll get that down to the sub 240. Yeah, anyway, my name's Tomm88 with 2 M's in the runner window there. If you wanna drop me a follow, Siglance is up next with a run of Suikoden Tierkreis. 01337 is coming up after that. With Suikoden, this game again, but 108 glitchless. So, without further ado, I'm out. Sorry it was like half an hour over schedule, but, you know, it is what it is. I suck at the beginning, apparently. I'll work on that. Siglance coming up next. I'm hitting the button. See you guys.